Oh my god. Welcome to the Nerd Spectrum podcast. Are you wearing slippers? Do you also need a fidget spinner? Because Daisy does and I am. So.
What does that have to do with anything?
It's the fact that I keep forgetting I'm wearing slippers.
I just don't understand
has to do with
how
everything.
you don't just take your shoes off when you get home.
They're not shoes. They're like thick socks.
They're shoes.
They're not shoes.
They're hard at the bottom. They're shoes.
I don't hear the like the clop clop sound they make. I don't know why. It just like I tune it out or something. Maybe I'm used to hearing mom in slippers. I can't tell you.
I don't know what to say, Jorge, but they're shoes, and you can argue with me all you want, but you're wrong.
And then the other part of that is the fact that you need something to poke or twist or any other the bop it things they have you do. It makes no sense to me because I feel like I sit pretty still.
I don't know.
Or I don't need to move my hands.
To do, I just can't be here and not do something.
How'd you survive in school?
It was completely different. I was always in a classroom with 30 people, and that makes me very anxious, and I'm a very shy individual.
So you just sat there?
Yeah, at most I'd
weird stoic.
I'd bounce my leg.
Oh, get that shaky leg
foot.
Syndrome.
Yeah, no one ever said anything about it though, so I guess it wasn't too bad. But sometimes it did get really bad, and I had to stop because I noticed people looking at me.
My dad did that to me at theaters once because my leg would not stop jumping. I think
he hit you.
He didn't hit me. What? No, he was like.
Well, I don't know why you said did that to me because no one did anything except
he
look at me.
He tapped it. He put his he poked me and he was like, "What's up with that?" And I was like, "I don't fucking know." And then
I'm a fucking anxious person.
And then 20 minutes later, he it was going faster. It picked up in pace with the movie. So he poked me again. I was freaking out. It was a scary movie. I was little. But yeah, my leg always shakes during movies. And
do you remember what movie it was?
Maybe it was Dead Silence or The Strangers.
Your dad took you to that.
Why would he not? That was 6th or 7th grade. Mom said we didn't go to horror movies when we were in elementary school. So we were in middle school when we first started going to theaters.
I don't know, man.
Emery's watching Happy Death Day. And she watched it 5 times. She's 2.
Yeah, she was
the clown.
I walked over there and she was watching Happy Death Day and she was like, "Look, baby." Because the guy wears a weird baby mask. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm not gonna
question, not gonna argue. Just yeah, it's a baby.
Be like, because I enjoy horror movies, so if I can enjoy them with her and if I'm babysitting, I can watch whatever the hell I want and she's not gonna be scared, so it's a plus for me.
Yeah, I think she'll just make ooh sounds. Ooh, watch out. Or
ouch.
Yeah. No, she's so cute. I love her. But yeah, so the main topic today is not horror movies or toddlers.
Yet.
It's the Spider-Man Homecoming. God, I keep saying it. Spider-Man Far From Home trailer finally dropped, and the spoiler ban lifted today,
which makes sense because that trailer was littered
with spoilers. Not to mention, not to mention the fucking what's it called? They have Tom Holland being the one that's guys, don't watch this if you haven't seen Endgame, which is
that's so ironic. I was expecting there to be a joke oh, I'm not supposed to be doing this yet or something kind of thing, what they did with Infinity War when they sent him the poster and he was doing a live on Instagram and it was it was supposed to be confidential, but we all know it was marketing.
Yeah. That was Ruffalo too, right? He sent the pic. He was sent. It
was supposed to be from him.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, something from Mark, great." And then he flips it over and it's confidential, do not show.
And he's like,
"Shit!"
And immediately ends the stream, so everyone was like, "Ah!" So I thought it was gonna be another one of those things where they play on the fact that he sucks.
That sounded like Hooked on a Feeling. You kind of went low, yeah.
On a feeling, bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
So now we have to watch Guardians before we go to sleep.
Okay. Well, yeah, why not? No, it makes me sad at the end. Okay, anyway.
I'll sleep by then, it doesn't matter.
So the trailer.
What'd
you think? I've seen it twice now. I actually almost watched it a third time, but I fell asleep.
I saw it once. Because I was at work, so unfortunately I didn't see it. Which sucks because while I was on my break, I wanted to watch it, but I have a break room, and then I went in there and there was only one person in there, and then as soon as I start eating my food, 8 other people come in to take their lunch, and I'm like, well, I can't listen to it now, and it doesn't help that I'm kind of new, so they don't know me, like, at all. They don't even know my name. My name tag doesn't even have my name on it. So
you should have just like what is it? Not stood your ground, but like flagged your territory. Like, no, this is my break room, bitches, and just fucking stake your claim. That's what I'm going for. And blasted the trailer.
No, and but I did see things about it while I was on my break. Like on Twitter, someone like tweeted the line about like what the hell was it? The like you've been to space.
Oh, you've been to space, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Someone like tweeted that, and I was like, what? But because like I scrolled through it really fast.
You're trying to avoid spoilers for the trailer?
Yes, because I was like, well, I don't want to know what happens in the trailer until I see what's in the trailer. And, like, thankfully, it does start off with Tom Holland being like, don't watch this if you haven't seen Endgame. Even though I have seen Endgame, it gave me that, like, buffer time to, like, get past it without it automatically.
You really tried to avoid it.
Yeah, I didn't want to because I was like, if I can't, like, I didn't want to see it because you know how Twitter plays the videos but without sound, obviously, unless you click on it. So I was like, I don't want to see any of it without being able to get the full like experience of watching all of it. So especially because I saw a bunch of people being like, whoa, it really like gives you like all this shit after Endgame, and I was like, well, I can't possibly know things about it without seeing it first.
Should we say that there are spoiler alerts for Endgame?
Spoiler alerts for Endgame.
This is
proceed with caution.
Yeah, proceed with caution. Well, like,
or just don't.
If we're gonna go through the trailer, it basically, we'll just say it now. First thing is, I still can't believe he's gone. And then it's like, I see him everywhere.
And then it's Iron Man.
Yeah, so it's
like, painting and stuff. Yeah, so it kind of just gives it to you for straight off the bat. Which, I guess all those people, whenever the teaser came out, and they were like, oh, Peter's looking at his suit really, like, sad, like, clearly Iron Man dies in Endgame. I was like, how the fuck did you get that from him looking at his suit all sadly while he's packing for Europe? But I guess they were right.
Do you think that was a trick? Actually, now that you bring that up, because with Infinity War, there was, like, you know, tricks in the teasers and trailers where it's like, this scene isn't actually in there or whatever. But in the teaser for Far From Home the first time, when he's looking at his suit, it's his normal suit. But in the trailer, he's wearing the Iron Spider suit.
In the trailer, he's wearing both of his suits.
Is he? Mm-hmm. I don't remember him wearing
He's wearing his Iron Spider suit, and he's also wearing his regular, like, blue and red suit.
I don't remember that. Oh, well, he also keeps the regular suit, I guess, because there was that charity thing, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
I completely forgot about that with Aunt May, though.
I guess that one's more of his, like, his friendly neighborhood Spider-Man one, and the Iron Spider one is more of, like, I'm doing some combat, serious shit kind of thing. And then you see his stealth suit, too.
That was the follow-up, though, or, like, the immediate after of I see him everywhere, blah, 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 was that...
The fight scene?
Yeah, the fight scene, and the cops are like...
what I assume is like a hotel, like, diner or something like that. And the cops come, and then you get the great Peter being super, like, regular Spider-Man quippy and being like, I'm doing your job.
I know, that's like
he's
a
like,
good
just
dig.
kidding, y'all are great. And it's just like, yes.
But, like, the you know, that's, like, a hard question to ask, like, another hero where it's like, so are you the new Iron Man? And, like, you get stuff like that in the comics all the time where it's, like... the Hobgoblin, the title to the Hobgoblin has been sold and traded like 6 different times in the comics.
Which I really like the Hobgoblin, so I hope we see that at some point.
He kept surviving. He was hard to kill for a little bit.
But yeah, speaking of me trying to watch the trailer in the break room, I was able to avoid watching it on Twitter, but I wasn't able to avoid people talking about it around me. Because there was a couple guys talking about it, and specifically... what two of them were talking about, and something that I think we could talk about is from the first trailer or the first teaser, you get like what you think is multiple villains. Specifically Sandman is the one that most people were talking about. Because
Sandman, Aquaman, no, Hydra Man, Molten Man, which I didn't know was a villain, but apparently is.
Yeah, and, like, I think most people mention, like, stick with Sandman because we have already seen him in a Spider-Man movie, but that
was a good casting. He really looked like the Sandman in the comics.
He did. But they were talking about that because I know before when it was just the teaser and no one knew what the hell was happening, it was kind of, and you got that description of Mysterio's going to be a good guy, At least.
Well, coming off as a good guy.
Yeah, we don't know. I don't trust anything, but he's supposedly supposed to be a good guy, at least in the beginning of this movie. So I know there's like theories going around that he was in control of all of these things and making it seem like there's all these villains, and so he could easily defeat them and kind of be like a super awesome superhero thing.
Yeah, and that goes back comics as well. Like the Marvel stuff, like Marvel's taken comics and adapted it pretty brilliantly into a way that's better understanding for like normal audiences. Like back in the day when Mysterio was making his debut, or maybe not his debut, but along his timeline at one point, he did, I believe, do like acts like that where he fought a dragon in Times Square or something like that, and he saved people, but like
it was all
Peter
to look good.
Yeah, exactly. He was like, I want to be an Avenger, I want to be a hero, blah blah blah. And then Peter was like, no, you're kind of putting people in danger for nothing.
Yeah,
because mass hysteria is so much worse when there's smoke and mirrors, as opposed to like actual destruction. You can run away from actual destruction, but when you think you're seeing a dragon in the sky coming at you, then like accidents happen. People are like, F this, I'm out. You know, jump ship from cars, that whole thing.
Yeah, sure. But so that was a theory before, and not that it can't happen, but because of the trailer and its spoilers, we now know that
multiple universes
are #confirmed, which I'm fucking stoked for. And like we kind of talked about it when we did our Endgame review too, or like recap. It was like something we were like, that's gonna happen.
Well, it was because Cap, right? Where it was like, what about one of the timelines where like, how would he get back?
Yeah. Plus, also like I feel like even if he did come back to like normal time, it's kind of hard to have so many different people travel through time and not have it affect something and like have like some sort of repercussions. So regardless, I think that's where this was gonna go. But I'm fucking excited for it because I love like there's so many possibilities with being multi-universe.
Okay, so then do you think this is Ultimate or do you think this is 616? Those are the main timelines.
I think it's Ultimate. I think we'll get 616.
You think we're gonna see a White Fury?
That'd be funny.
You think like an end credit, he pops through a little portal with a Tesseract or something, and he's like, the fuck is this?
I don't know, because like in general, they make like all of the Marvel movies that we've had seem like it is. They've mixed the 616 and like Ultimate Universe,
right?
For the most part.
Because Fury is like the way Fury is based off Samuel Jackson.
What Avengers is called. So they kind of mixed both universes, so it's good. So like, I guess there isn't like one specific universe that they like. Yeah,
they're not pulling. They're not pulling just from 616 or Ultimate.
So it can be like more mix of other things, but like that's so cool because there's so much potential for like so many characters.
Is it weird?
And so many different variations of characters that we already know.
Yeah, is it weird seeing Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio costume? I'm like, he has to be from like a medieval universe or some shit, right? Like that's like armor. It's not just.
See, you would think, but like they just have but like costumes are just whatever, you know?
Right? Yeah.
Like it could be anything.
It doesn't help that he comes from a theater background, so of course like he can also
just be playing it up.
Yeah, so
I mean, like if you just saw Doctor Strange, like in general, you would also assume that he comes like from somewhere medieval
you're from the
time.
Renaissance. Well, like Tony Stark, the first Avengers.
Exactly.
Like, doth mother know you're wearing her drapes?
Exactly. So it's like you can't really base it off that.
Yeah, that sucks. Okay, so then continuing forward with the trailer. So he's going on vacation.
Yes.
Do you want to talk? Who do you want to talk about in terms of like interactions? I guess he has plenty because like Happy immediately after that was like, Nick Fury's calling you, and Peter looks at his phone. And he's like, I don't want to talk to Nick Fury.
He was like, you just sent Nick Fury to voicemail. Yeah. That's so funny.
It's like you don't ghost Nick Fury, which then goes to him poisoning or like sedating
Ned. Ned. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's really sweet to see the relationship between him and Happy because you can see
Happy's no longer that douchey uncle. Now he's like
I'm gonna take care of you.
Yeah, all the personal relationships responsibilities have fallen to him now.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
Or maybe not nice, it's probably stressful for him.
It's probably stressful for him, especially with
Morgan.
fucking Peter being a superhero. It adds extra stress, especially because it's like, he probably knows that, like, if anything happened to him, like, if Tony was alive, it would be, like, a big thing if something happened to Peter, because it already was. So, like, I'm sure that the stress of keeping him alive mixed in with the fact that Peter is so new to being a superhero and, like, now has more, like, experience with bigger things, but he, like, as you see in the trailer where he's like, can't you call Thor? What about Captain Marvel? That he's like, he can do these big things, but he's not quite, like, mentally ready for it, or, like, hasn't accepted it.
Do you think it's that, or do you think that he's a little scared? Do you think he's having a little PTSD like Tony in Iron Man 3?
I mean,
it's not necessarily that he doesn't want to.
I don't think it's PTSD, because he kind of didn't get to live through the worst of it. He was kind of dusted for a lot of the, like, hardships of that.
He was asleep.
Yeah, but it's still kind of like...
Or he thought he was asleep.
Yeah, and I don't know, I don't think...
He handled Thanos pretty well. He wasn't like...
Yeah, it like...
And Strange, he was like magic with a kick. He was like, you ever see that movie Aliens?
Exactly. So... he was in space and he was dealing with it like, well enough, I think better than most people would.
I think he's compartmentalizing and he's just trying to like...
I mean, but that's what Peter does, like, in general. That is his character. He, like, gets so much shit and he just kind of takes it and is like...
Runs with it?
Runs with it as best as he can.
That Parker luck.
Yeah.
Really kicking him in the ass. So he's introduced Mysterio. There's no, like, who are you, what's this? In the first teaser, it was like, you don't want to be a part of this. And then he goes and fights Hydra Man, I think. Mm-hmm. But in this, it's Fury introducing and is like, he's from another universe. The Thanos' snap made a tear.
Yeah.
And, you know, here he is. Now... as I'm speaking about it, Cleo, you alright?
I think she's confused.
I'm thinking... Oh, is she under the bed?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, poor Cleo. The not like downsides, but definitely the funnier aspect of having a super clingy dog and then a super independent dog. One goes under the bed, the other can't find her. What does she do? Cry.
Starts crying.
Anyway.
It'd be that way sometimes.
Where was I? So the introduction between Mysterio and Spider-Man and Fury saying, you know, there was a snap, or the snap tore our reality open and blah, blah, blah. He's from a different universe. He's not our Earth. I think that's some bullshit.
Why?
I think that is... I think they're, you know, getting people hyped for it, and, like, maybe... This is my wild, like...
And getting the potential for it?
I'm going to say it's a red herring. I'm thinking he made it look like he came from another universe, and he can maybe make it sound like, you know... Because, like, if he's from a different Earth, anything he says goes, right? And he can, like, if he has technology to make these 4 elementals... then maybe, like, he can finesse enough that it all works out. Mm-hmm. That they're like, oh, yeah, of course, we have a Tony, but, like, he's dead. And, you know, he can be like, well, our Iron Man did this, and blah, 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 blah. So I'm thinking maybe they don't do that. Because I think it'd be super convenient and, really, really well-timed given the Fox acquisition. Mm-hmm. So if they're like... Especially since Feige's already come out and said, X-Men Fantastic Four, not happening for 5 years. Mm-hmm. So I think if they say that, then too many people will focus on that and think, oh, Wolverine's going to come in, Fantastic Four is going to come in, blah, blah, blah. And I don't think they're... It's not that I don't think they're ready for it, I just don't think they want that right now, especially with Dark Phoenix as well.
Yeah, they don't want that bad rap.
Yeah, so they don't want anything to come forward with, like, a bad taste or, like, a bad vibe to it.
Yeah.
So I think as, like, a crazy wild card theory, I think other universes is a red herring. It actually means nothing. He basically BS'd his way into them believing that with special effects.
I don't think so.
Why?
Because I feel like after everything that has happened and all the crazy like things that they never knew about, I don't think there's any way that Fury would be so like, I don't even know like the word, like
dumb or naive.
Yeah, like he wouldn't be, or I guess he just wouldn't be stupid enough. Like he wouldn't take. It's not like I feel like he would take the precautions and like have some like something to like be in place for any more crazy wild things that could come up, you know. And I don't think,
I'm sure that Fury's worldview has been turned upside down, and
yeah.
like he has, you know, he's probably he's probably questioning his life's choices a little bit.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't think it would be like something that he just so readily accepts. Like, yes, of course you're from another universe. Welcome.
I think that sounds exactly like Fury. He rolls his eye, you know, and he's like, of course. Why wouldn't there be one more? Or multiple of them. It's like, whatever. Let's just get it over with.
Sure. Plus, it also, like, I get that it's just too convenient, especially with all the Fox properties that Disney just bought up, but it's like, it's kind of a, like, where can you go from here type of thing, because, like, after Endgame came out, people were like, well, what's the next big, like, you know, villain? Like, who's it gonna be? And it's kind of like, who could it be? Like, Thanos was such a big thing, and not that there isn't, like, an abundance of, like, giant things that happen in the comics that they can pull from, but, like, they kind of, like, got some good material just in this first little saga. So it's like, where could they go? And it's like, well, what do the comics do constantly? They literally constantly have these, like, giant epic events that, like, are crossovers over every, like, different kind of, like, runs and different series of people, and then they fucking destroy the entire universe as you know it and redo it. So, like, they could do that. And then, like, there's also a bunch of times where they fucking, like, that comic run that happened not too long ago where they all the universes were starting to collide, and it was
Secret Wars?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where they were all going to...
Secret Wars Part 2.
Yeah, they were all starting to collide, and then there was only going to be one left, kind of thing.
Which I'm happy that happened, because honestly, like, not like, competitive, I guess, arcs or runs, like, between Ultimate Spider-Man and then Amazing Spider-Man,
mm-hmm.
or, like, you have, you know, like, spectacular, sensational, superior, like, all the Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
Not that I have issues with any of that, but it did make it easier as a collector to know that they were all in one universe now, and that I didn't have to stress out.
Yeah. So it's like there's so many things that the comics regularly do that are big enough that you could make another saga if they wanted to.
See, but I think my problem with that logic is that who do you think they had planned then? Because I'm sure with this and, you know, the Fox acquisition, that people were probably going to jump to Galactus. I think I've seen...
Yeah, I feel either that, and then again, those guys that were talking in the break room today, they also brought up Dr. Doom.
Okay. But Dr. Doom's not like a big bad.
Yeah, he's not. He's kind of just a constant. Mm-hmm. But I also really like...
He's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I also really like Dr. Doom. Like, he has his own fucking island. Like, hell yeah. And I really like his design. Like, it's so simple, but it looks so badass. But like, that's biased. I really like Dr. Doom, so, like, seeing him in something would be great. But it's also, like, he kind of just messes with everyone, but he's not, like, hard, I guess.
Dr. Doom doesn't go hard?
He goes hard, but, like, you know, he's kind of,
I don't know enough about the Fantastic Four to actually speak to that. And Latveria, you know, his home country / island.
That was also in Gwenpool.
Was it? Okay, well.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm so tired of seeing Galactus. It's so annoying. Like, up until the Fox purchase, I was like, I've seen so many, like, oh, Galactus was there, or oh, Galactus was here. And I'm like, no, he wasn't. And there's reasons for that.
I heard Silver Surfer, too. People just are really going for all the, like, X-Men stuff.
X-Men.
And Fantastic Four, specifically. And I'm like, I get it, because those movies, like, the ones that came out in the early 2000s, and then the one that recently came out.
Those are also
weren't very good.
super destructive without reason. Like, Fantastic Four 1, no. But Rise of the Silver Surfer, very bad. Or not very bad. It was bad. But, they jumped straight to Galactus, a movie in. And then X-Men, they had, like, the Phoenix.
Well, no one knew how to.
1.0.
No one knew how to build something that would, like, last and build up to the big bad.
I guess.
But yeah, so, like.
Feige had a hand in those, though. Fun fact.
Interesting. But yeah, like, I've heard, like, Silver Surfer and, like, Doctor Doom, and I've heard Galactus a lot, too, and I was just like...
just like, alright.
Like, cool. Like, not that I wouldn't want to see that happen, but like you said, they don't really want to mess with any of the Fox properties for a while everyone, can forget.
I'm struggling really with, like, who they would continue to fight, right? Because even in Avengers, Thanos is, like comics, it's like Thanos is a constant. He's never gone. Mm-hmm. It's more like biding his time until he figures out what's next. And I guess, like, we should do a little bit more on the trailer, like, in terms of, like, why we're talking this way, because the end of it is, or not, I think it's the end of it, right? Where it's like, Fury's like, are you going to rise to the occasion?
And be the new Iron Man.
Yeah, everybody's like, well, the ending is Happy Cap trying to get everybody into the Quinjet.
Yeah. Or MJ being like, that you're Spider-Man?
Yes. Okay, so do you want to finish the trailer and then we'll go back to the do you want to rise? So MJ.
Yes.
Just straight up, flat out. God, Peter cannot keep a fucking secret identity.
He really can't. He's really shit at it. Like, that's the one the main difference between comic Peter and this MCU Peter, because comic Peter can keep it a secret.
Comic Peter?
He's, like, he really sucks at, like, balancing his spider life and his regular life. He has a problem with it, and everybody knows it. And, like, that's cool. Whatever. But, like, at least, like, nobody knows.
Peter Parker in the comics will take a pumpkin bomb from the Goblin himself to the face before he admits he's fucking Peter Parker. The mask could be blown off completely, and he'd be like,
and he still does something.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not Peter.
Meanwhile, like, no. But meanwhile, this Peter's just running around without his fucking mask on, just...
This Peter Parker is the Tom Holland of Peter Parkers.
Yeah. Just being fucking reckless enough to break into his own room and have May walk in on him in his outfit.
And Ned.
Exactly. Like, what? Like, do you not check? Like, I get that it's your room and nobody should be in there, but, like, like, you should be a little more careful, or, like, find a shed.
Right.
To keep your stuff.
Something. I'm sure Tony left him a great shed.
Probably, but it's just like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, everybody knows that you're fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah, except Flash.
Fucking idiot.
I'm glad he got that nut punch.
Yeah.
In the fucking trailer. I was like, haha, got him. So MJ now knows, probably. I don't know if he'll try and lie to her. We already saw, like...
I don't really think he can.
She's so perceptive. We saw promo shots of him rescuing her in his normal suit.
Yeah.
So, or maybe that's him swinging with her.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Romantic date night.
Yeah, that's, a very big comic staple for Peter and MJ.
Yeah.
Even though she's Michelle and not Mary Jane. I'm still a little annoyed about, like, the differences in that, but, like, whatever.
Maybe there'll be a second MJ and that one will be Mary Jane.
Maybe. I don't know. That just seems weird.
It does.
Yeah, that sounds like a weird, like, that's like dating a new girl with, like, the same name as the old girl.
Yeah,
like,
and also, where's Gwen?
Right? I don't think we'll ever see Peter kill Gwen in an MCU. Yeah. I don't think it'll ever go that dark.
I mean, that's like
we almost saw Peter do it to Gamora. Quill, not Parker. In Infinity War, where he had the gun to her and he pulled it, but there were bubbles that came out.
Yeah.
We almost saw that.
Know. I feel like that's pretty important. Plus the popularity of Spider-Gwen or Ghost Spider, could contribute to her at least being in it.
Yeah, but we're getting that with Sony.
Yeah, I guess that's right.
The writers of Spider-Verse, or producers, I don't remember, they're doing a TV series. They're actually filming, like, they're not filming. They're heading, what's it called? Like a Spider-Verse TV show, mm-hmm. Spider-Verse universe in terms of movies, and, like, all sorts of other stuff. That's, like, how successful that was.
It was so good.
But anyway, what was the other part of the trailer we talked about? MJ, and then what else?
And then I guess the final one would just be everyone asking Peter if he's the
ready.
new Iron Man.
Yeah, if he's ready to be the new Iron Man. Mm-hmm. That's sort of like why we've strayed from so far from it, because like this trailer kind of hits like who's gonna rise now? Who's the new Iron Man? What are we doing now that like the heroes are gone off world? Thor's who knows where. Captain Marvel's busy.
Yeah, Thor's as Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, and I think Hemsworth signed a contract for 2 more movies.
3, I think.
Okay, so probably getting as Guardians of the Galaxies.
Hell yeah.
I'm pretty ready for that. I just want him to give Quill more crazy eyes.
Mm-hmm. Like, I really want to see that dynamic.
I would last for an hour and a half or 2. Yeah.
Like the comedy that you could get out of that. Gold. Anyways, new Iron Man. Peter.
Or new leader of the Avengers.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say no.
I saw that coming.
Like, unless they do a, like, Young Avengers thing, then sure. And they just have a bunch of young superheroes. But, like, there are none. But this is a good opportunity to introduce them because new saga, potentially. So, like, why the hell not?
We don't know what Phase 4 is going to be at all. Well, yeah. Wait, Guardians 3 is all we know, actually.
Yeah.
I don't think that's part of Phase 3. I think Spider-Man's the end of Phase 3.
Yeah, it's the last one. And then everything else will be.
Because he deserves it, because Spider-Man is the best. It'll top Homecoming as my number 1, probably.
Probably.
Unbiased. Go fuck yourself.
Completely biased. Anyways, yeah, so I think... Because not that I don't see him working with, like, Falcon or, like, Scarlet Witch or any of, like, the old Avengers.
Give me a young Avengers and a new Avengers. You can choose the amount of people you want in that team. Or, like, where you think he'll play more.
Like, just whoever the hell I want.
Well, no, in the MCU.
There's no young people.
There's young people. There is Scarlet Witch. But, like, okay, fine. If you were going to introduce...
But she's still older than Peter. See, that's my problem is, like, I don't think that he could, like...
Oh, so you're having some Civil War issues that I had, huh?
No. What?
Where it's like there's not enough young people.
No. Well, there isn't. But, no, I mean, just saying that, like, Peter is literally the youngest out of all of them. He has the least experience being a superhero. Like, I don't think he could lead a team. And I don't think, like, and if he tried to, I feel like someone would definitely also be like, Parker, shut the fuck up. You're so new to this kind of thing. Or, like, Falcon would take over. And also, like, everyone keeps saying that Iron Man was, like, the leader of the Avengers. But I always thought Cap was.
Cap was the leader. But
exactly, but Tony was the one that kind of, like... gave them,
as Tony put it, he funded it. He's in charge. I just make all the cool stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So like he wasn't the leader of the Avengers. So like it's not like.
But he was the first modern Avenger, I guess, as well.
Yeah. Really. So I get it, but he also wasn't the leader. That was definitely Cap's role, and I still think that it'll fall to Falcon, if anything. But like I don't think he could. I think he could jump in with them if they continue, like they kept the Avengers lineup like those that are still in the MCU, and keep them, like, if they did another Avengers movie, like, they could bring Falcon and Scarlet Witch, and probably not Hawkeye, because I'm sure he's gonna finally retire.
He's
for
done
sure.
With this shit.
Yeah, but, like, maybe he would come back, or, like, even Scott could come, and they can have Ant-Man in the lineup as, like, an actual Avenger, and I think if they were like, hello, can you guys come help us out with whoever the fuck the next villain is, Peter can go, but I don't think he'd be the one in charge, or, like,
so what kind of roster do you want for an Avengers, a new Avengers? I already don't want Black Panther. I'm saying it now. This is my foot. This is my line in the sand. I don't think. Here's why. I don't think Black Panther.
I don't think he would be part.
Tonally speaking, I don't think it would jive well with the others, right? Because Civil War, his like joke was, you know, when Clint's like, hi, I'm Clint. And he's like, I don't care. And then they fight. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that was a good payoff in Infinity War. When he's like, Clint. It's like, the name. He remembered.
It's like he was listening.
He did care.
At least a little bit. He was just really mad about his dad's death in Civil War.
Yeah, you know, we all have that moment. But I don't think he would jive well with, like, say, a Giant Man / Ant-Man. Or, like, is it weird? I think T'Challa would actually jive well more with like a Wasp, because Evangeline Hope is so much more serious compared to Scott.
I get it. Like, the people that don't joke as much.
Yeah. And
I'm also
it's like...
sure part of that is because he has to deal with Shuri all the time.
Probably. But you know what I mean? Like, it's not that I'm not questioning leader, I'm not questioning skill or anything like that. It's just, like, tonally, I think if you want an even thing, Thor cracked jokes. Evans cracked jokes. Tony definitely cracked jokes. I think the most quiet, too, would be Black Widow and Hawkeye. Mm-hmm. But even in Age of Ultron, they both got their digs in and busted everybody's balls. And Hulk's Hulk, you know, he can't really...
I mean, now he can.
Now, well, apparently he always could. He just didn't.
He just didn't want to. He was like, I don't want people Hulk no funny.
Yeah, exactly. So I
don't think,
what if they set up, like, what if they keep an ongoing, like, Iron Man versus Cap type thing? What if it's, like, a Sam versus a Pete type deal? Not, like, in terms of, like, they're gonna fight and hash things out that way. But what if it's a little bit like that, where it's, like, the ideals that Tony instills in Peter stay with him and might lead to character flaws in the future. And the same ideals that Cap had stay in Sam and those ideals. So, like, it's not really like an actual conflict like Civil War was, but it is something like a question
just like fundamentally they disagree most of the time.
Yeah, just different philosophies that lead to the same kind of, like, fights.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's just because, like, we know the character of Spider-Man so well.
You mean, like, he's my favorite?
Exactly. So it's, like, hard to believe that he would go that route just because, like, everyone fucking knows Spider-Man. Everyone knows that he's just a genuinely good
He's the
character.
Average dude.
He's the average person, but he cares so much and, like, he never really does harm. Like, when he captures villains, he just fucking webs them up and leaves a note for the police.
He cracks jokes with them.
Exactly. So
if they're willing to crack jokes with him.
Like, even when he's, like, on the brink of, like, death and getting punched out, he's still cracking jokes. So it's kind of like, I don't really think that would be an issue. Like, I think he would take the better parts of Tony and not so much the bad parts.
Okay. So
I don't think that dynamic would follow through with him. At least not with, like, Falcon.
I think in that case, then, I will say that Peter's new Tony in terms of, like, well, maybe heart of the Avengers.
Yeah, I can see that.
Sam will probably take lead then.
Yeah.
That leaves
Kind of has to. He has the shield now.
Shield don't mean shit. 3 or 4 other spaces. Mm-hmm. What do you think? I don't see a T'Challa leaving his country.
Me neither. I think it's kind of more of a, like how he was in, like, the comic Civil War run, where he's kind of around.
He's a negotiator between the two.
Yeah, but he doesn't really get involved.
Yeah.
So I feel like he would be that.
He has no place. Like, or it's not like he has no place, but, like, in the hero community, he really doesn't need to, right? Mm-hmm. It's like Doom, where it's, like, diplomatic community and all this other shit. Like, there's politics to it.
Yeah.
I see an Ant-Man and a Wasp.
Yeah. I think...
So that takes up 2 more spots.
That'd be cool to see.
What else?
Plus goes with the original lineup.
I'll say a Hulk. I don't think that you get rid of Banner. But that's 5. I don't know if there'd be a 6. I can't think of a 6 right now. Strange. Strange? I would love to see a Spider-Man Strange thing. Or, like, maybe Doctor Strange pops up in Spider-Man and he's like, yeah, Mysterio's bullshitting.
That's what I'm saying. This is what I want to see. I love them. Like, it's just what I like, you know?
You like the mystic arts?
Yeah, and I feel like just as characters, like, again, in the comics, they interact enough that, you know, they're both familiar with each other and, like, you know, Peter knows that if he needs something, like, on the weird side, he can go to Strange kind of thing. So I really like to see that, like, translate into the movies, too.
Assuming Holland renews his contract and Amy Pascal is going to Universal now, so I think it'll be a little bit easier to negotiate keeping Holland since she was heading it. Or, yeah, all the Spider-Man related properties. Oh man, my fingers are crossed for that. Assuming that Tom Holland continues as Spider-Man in the MCU, he goes through a couple arcs in the old comics, in, like, the 500s and 600s, where he's part of the Fantastic Four. He leads the Avengers against Doc Ock.
His cool white suit.
Yeah, the Future Foundation suit. I love it.
Yeah.
He learns from Shang-Chi. He learns from Cap. He learns from Strange a little bit, and Loki. And sort of learns, like, what it is to be the Spider. There's mystical to it. There's kung fu to it. And there's, like, all sorts of other things.
Yeah, there's just There's literally so many things.
It would be cool to see an arc where it's him. I assume it's not going to be like as in depth, right? But it would be cool to see an arc where he goes amongst mentors and they start teaching him like ways to be a better hero that way, and maybe not so much in like the Spider Fu or like the spider is like a totem, you know.
Like maybe he'll go to that weird like cemetery island thing and learn to be a spider.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The other? Yeah, no.
That was cool.
No, it wasn't.
I thought it was cool.
Got jacked up.
I thought it was cool.
He got his eyeball ripped out.
Just let him, you have the ability to shoot webs out of his actual body.
He also had spines come out of his, like, wrists.
Yeah.
You remember? He was like, stabby.
That's cool, though.
No, it wasn't. That was
I thought
horrible
it was
to
cool.
read.
But yeah, and then, you know, you got your classic Spider-Man villains like Doc Ock and obviously,
Kraven. The Hunter.
Yeah.
He was rumored for a while.
And then Green Goblin, of course.
Do you think we see a Goblin in the next, like, 5 or 10 years, though?
Probably not, but I really want to.
A good one? I don't think...
I mean,
Willem Dafoe was bad.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't bad. He was really good. I think that was really good.
He just looked like a Power Ranger.
Yes.
Or
but I mean, like, in general, like, all kinds of... Like, all the movies back then looked really gross. But... he was a good Green Goblin. Once we got to, like, Amazing Spider-Man, we got that Green Goblin.
Dane DeHaan.
Yeah, that was a little, like, what the hell? Like, he looked like he was growing fur
out
of his face.
They were adapting the Demo Goblin from the Ultimate, and I get it, but, like, also,
but, like,
I agree.
Like, if that's what you're gonna do, then just make him a fucking, like, actual Demon Goblin. Like,
do the motion cap stuff? Yeah,
exactly. Like, why try to fuse? Like, he looked so, like, he had fangs, and there's, like, weird hair growing out of his face, and, like, his bad eyebrows, and it's just...
bad eyebrows.
It looked bad.
The hair looked bad. He
gross.
looked like the hair was trying to take shape of the hat.
Yeah, and it was just not good. Like, just wear the fucking suit. But yeah, so like these are like things that I really like, and I like.
So you want to see a full ass goblin?
Yeah, I want to see a full ass goblin.
You want to see like the pointy ears, the fucking pointy nose.
I want
like a witch out of hell.
No, I want the classic goblin. I want the classic Green Goblin with his like fucking green ass tights and his weird little like purple
mask thing.
Shit, like throwing some fucking exploding pumpkins. Like that's what I want.
Yeah, they weren't exploding pumpkins in either movie.
Mm-mm.
They were just little orange orbs.
Missed opportunity. Make them pumpkins.
Well, maybe we get introduced into like a Norman Osborn. You know, maybe if you're like, I don't know where they are school wise, right? It's 2023, and apparently every one of them died. So
they're in high school still.
Yeah,
finishing it.
Juniors now, probably. Because
I don't even know.
It was the end of the year when Liz left.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he was a sophomore. But anyway, yeah. Any final thoughts? Any predictions, I guess, or like thoughts on how this will shape the universe as we know it?
I think that the multiverse is real, and they're gonna go ahead and just keep that as a possibility. I don't think it's Mysterio's trick, but I don't know about Mysterio himself.
Quentin Beck. Yeah.
Like, obviously he's
trickster?
Yes. Kind of like another Loki, I guess.
I was about to say that. What if he's like this phase is like Loki, just fucking around?
Yeah, now Loki's time traveling potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? So I'm sure he's gonna end up being like the villain. They're all like, what kind of thing? But that's really all I got. And I don't know. I think we're just gonna kind of see more of like Peter trying to step up into like the superhero role. But obviously he's still a teenager. He's still in school. He still has regular teenage responsibilities.
Actually, I'm pretty sure he's in honors. That was a bad school joke. I'm sorry.
That was really bad.
Anyway, sorry. Keep going.
Yeah. So multiverse, real. Him trying to figure out his place in the superhero world. Yes.
All right. I'm going to disagree with most of that. I think the multiverse is BS.
Fuck you too.
I think he stages it. I think maybe 4 or 5 movies from now. Let's see. I think they're going to stick with releasing 2 movies a year. I'm not going to lie. Maybe they'll bump it up to 3 with a acquisition. I I think 5-6 movies from now, you see a legitimate tear somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe they go back to Thor. Maybe it's like Arizona or some shit. Somebody lands in a desert.
Oh my god.
And that's like a Wolverine or a Fantastic Four member or something. Or even a Guardians. If Guardians is what closes like a universe, you know, maybe they see like a black hole, or maybe they see something and, you know, out pops Reed Richards. Which a lot of people want Krasinski to be, but I don't know how I feel about that.
I am with it.
You just love Krasinski.
He would be a great Reed Richards.
I think a lot, like, I'm pretty sure the arc of this movie is basically going to be, I don't want to be the new Iron Man. I don't want all this.
He doesn't want to
He's going to try and dodge the responsibility a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he's going to obviously have to own up to it. It's going to be the opposite of the first movie. The first movie, he was like, I want all the responsibility to do and to save. But now it's like, after having a severe loss, a second severe loss, I think. Assuming
we gotta assume that Uncle Ben happened.
Yeah.
Like, that you can't have Spider-Man and not.
Yeah.
You know?
So assuming...
Just because they don't mention it ever.
Well, they touch on it in Civil War. But
kind of, but it's not even like stated. A big thing. He's kind of just like, something happened.
Actually, I think he says it with May. When he's talking to Ned, he says what happened with Ben in one of the movies. You know, this is
we're just gonna rewatch it.
Yeah, it's just another excuse to rewatch it. Anyway, so I think this is the opposite of the first movie. He's trying to try and dodge responsibility as opposed to taking up the responsibility. Maybe somebody gets hurt. Maybe it's Flash Thompson because, you know, he's a douche, but sure, you gotta take care of him. He rescued him in DC. And, yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
Mysterio is a hack.
Sure. Alright, one final question. Do you think there'll be an end credit scene?
Of course! No. Well...
Yeah, exactly.
They haven't filmed anything. You're right.
Yeah.
Well, there's going to be an end credit scene of sorts. I don't doubt that. And if it's another Captain America PSA thing, I don't give a shit. I'm here for it.
Maybe it'll be like, not that it's the same, but like, at the end of the first Deadpool, where he comes out in his, like, robe, and he's like, yeah, the next movie, we got freaking Cable. Look at that. Kind of thing.
I don't think they'd ever be
not like that so open, obviously.
Yeah, fourth wall break.
But, like, something of, like, this is what is to come, potentially?
Fuck, you got me. I think there is an end credit scene. Mm-hmm. I think it'll be Spider-Man related. I think it'll hint at, or maybe it's Fury related. I think it will hint at whether or not we're going to keep Spider-Man in the MCU. Mm-hmm. And if it's none of those things, it's another Captain America PSA, or we'll see more Captain America PSAs. Because the Russo said Evans isn't done. His contract's up, but Evans himself was not completely done yet. Mm-hmm. Once they were going around doing press for Endgame. Mm-hmm. So I think maybe he filmed more of those. That's not hard.
I feel like they just have like a whole like closet full of those.
I'm just like, which one do we need?
Just in case.
But yeah, thank you guys for listening. This is a lot more energetic and a lot more kind of...
This is a little more in it because it's personally close to Jorge, so...
Well, also, we're not dying from Comic-Con. We got, like,
anymore.
In total, maybe 12 hours of sleep over 3 days. The Endgame was 2 hours.
You got more sleep than I did.
I did, because... Okay, we'll talk about...
Because I let you sleep in.
Yeah, you're a great wife, and I appreciate you for that.
You're welcome.
I was struggling, man. I didn't know if I'd do it. It was hard.
All right, well, I guess we'll talk about that at a later time.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe. I'm gonna start a movie blog to accompany this, and I'll try and figure out how that's gonna go.
I'll do nothing of the sort, but I'll give my opinions.
As far as scheduling goes, we're gonna shoot for 5 days a week, hopefully, but if we can't do that,
at least 3.
The minimum will be 3, and if it's gonna be 3, it'll be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, you know, we'll figure it out based off scheduling. Work's kind of hard to deal with at times.
We're still figuring our shit out.
Yeah. But thank you guys for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed. Bye-bye.
Bye.